Hi, I'm Kelton,
And I'm Katie.
and we bought this house in August of 2019.
The previous owners had many children, so it was a little bit unkept, and we just wanted to clean it up and create clean gardens throughout the backyard, just with flowers that we can cut and be plentiful all year.
This is my first time kind of ever doing gardening other than basic weeding as a kid.
Having your own lawn or your own yard is different. It's been exciting
It's
to
true.
try all the new things in our own space that we get to enjoy.
When it's a chore, it's because it's not really your yard, but once you actually own a house, and it's an exciting thing. It's rewarding actually doing all these little projects. Whether that even just be getting the moss out of the lawn and trying to rejuvenate that, or taking out old landscape ties and putting in new brick and to kind of freshen it up, and it's rewarding and exciting. The most intimidating thing about starting, I guess, from scratch with the back garden here anyways, there's no plants or anything in there at all. It's just kind of dirt, and dealing with various weeds that we had never seen before, and just larger root systems. And as we were digging through, like, how do you manage those? We, being new homeowners, didn't necessarily have all the tools yet. We borrowed a shovel from our parents. That was the most intimidating part, I think, for sure.
Yeah. There's also so many ideas out there of what we could have done with the backyard.
Yeah, and I think now that we've gone through and done that, we have actually gone out and bought and purchased those tools, and now you know how to use them too, which is great. So definitely feel more confident.
When we first bought this house, we really loved the size of our yard. That was one of our favorite things, to find such a large piece of property. We liked the layout of the yard as well. It was all kind of laid out already the way we would have done it anyway. It was just making those areas nicer.
The timeline of this whole process was probably around 3 weeks prior to planting. We first started with going through and taking out the rotting landscape ties around the garden area. Kind of had been going to and from trying to figure out what we wanted for bricks as far as what color and shape and everything. So we found one we liked. We bought kind of the first level of them. We wanted to do two layers. That was a whole process of getting those into the back. Once we had those in, then the soil arrived. So that was basically placed in our front driveway. So we had to go buy a wheelbarrow, build that, and that was a fun process. The soil was really great. It was actually easier than I thought to move. wasn't too difficult. We had tarps and everything, so it was raining at the time, so we didn't want to get too soaked to keep it to be light when we're moving it.
We just started moving it into the back and tilling what was there because we have a morning glory root throughout our gardens. That was a big pain, so we had to really move around the dirt a lot to help loosen those and break those up. And then we could start moving our fresh soil in.
Yeah. There's also a lot of large roots as well, which you mentioned kind of before too, so those were a little bit of a pain too, but getting through and sawing those out and trying to just give enough space so that when we did have the plants that when we were digging those holes, it would ideally not run into anything.